Okay, so I will assume you probably know what Jupyter is, and that is nice to use it because you can also create documents where you get Python or other code shown and run the results directly, and you can have text in it and many nice things about it. And Jupyter is started and run as a server, for example, so it could be an interactive node, and it will be displayed in a web browser, for instance, Firefox. It can be a little slow if you're running it through ThinLinc. There isn't so much choice on those where you have to do that. For some of them, you can instead use SSH tunneling and run it from your own machine, and that might be faster. That is mainly the case for NSC, but I think you can also do it at UPPMAX. On LUNARC, you can instead use this desktop that was just shown. And that is probably the fastest way to do it. And I think that will work fine. So I will briefly go through them, and then I will show it for Tetralit with SSH tunneling and for ASP.C2N through ThinLinc. And on UPPMAX, you will, if you want to use CPUs, you can use Rackham. If you want to use GPUs, you will ask for a Snowy compute node. So you would log into Rackham, or your ThinLinc client, and you would start an interactive session, and then you can start Jupyter in the interactive session, and it will give you some output and start the Jupyter server session. So just leave the terminal open and you can run it. And in order to get to it, you will get an output on the screen that will look similar to this, and you will put that into Firefox. And if it was on Snowy, it will look very similar, except there will be an S instead of an R. Put the URL into your Firefox, and then it starts Jupyter. And you can also do this with tunneling from your own computer. And since that is similar to how it's done on Tetralit, I'm going to show it for Tetralit. Yeah, and if you are running Jupyter in a virtual environment, you should use either Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook. And you will get Jupyter itself from the Python modules that you, if you created it in a virtual environment, but otherwise you can use the one that's installed, and that should work. I believe the problem is that you won't find locally installed packages if you are from that Jupyter session. So then you need to, yeah. So if you're using a virtual environment. Anyway, I'm going to start it off for ASP.C2N, and I am going to use a ThinLinc. So let's do that. I will start ThinLinc, and I will change it to Kebnekaise. And here again, you have to put your password, because otherwise it will ask for it but fail. So it needs to be put here. I will connect. It shouldn't take that long. And now I am on Kebnekaise. So I will open a terminal. I have made some shortcuts, as you can see, but otherwise you will go to System Tools, and here you can pick Mate Terminal, like that. And let's see if I can get this to fit. Anyway, we need to load Jupyter Lab, and I will find it here. See one suitable one. I'm going to get this one. So I will say module spider, ML spider, and I get told I just need to load GCC, and I will do that. So this is the one that is for Python 3.11.3 actually. And I'm going to load the full one and not just core. In this case, it doesn't matter. It's more if I'm going to load like SciPy bundle later. So I load Jupyter Lab. Let's see what's in it. And there is a bunch of stuff in it. And as you can see, it has many things already loaded. I'm going to also load SciPy bundle just to show you with that. It doesn't matter. I don't need it here. Okay, I now have
one comment here.
yes.
One cannot see any Python module, but yes, I see it now. Sorry.
It's here.
Yes, okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, sure. It's difficult to look at all of these because there are so many things it loads. So yeah, you can see now it added even more. There should also be OpenMPI somewhere, which I can't see right now. Okay. Anyway, I am going to create a batch script, which I need in order to run it. And I need one similar to this here. So I'm going to say my Jupyter.sh, just calling it something. And I'm here using Vim. I should probably have used Nano. I can go out and do that instead. So Nano, my Jupyter.sh. And now I am copied what I had here, paste. And this looks good. This is what I need because I didn't need the SciPy bundle. So I'm just going to run with this. And here I'm asking for 5 hours. That is because then I can use it later, but I'm not going to usually use that much time. But you should ask for enough time that you have time to sit there and work with it. So that is the case. But we'll save this, Control X, and yes. Sorry, I have something that tickles my throat. But I have now created my batch script. I'm going to submit it. This. And then I'll see if it's running. It's running actually. And in this case, I just want it running because it should continue to run. And let's see. I have some Slurm scripts. And it's this one because it's the newest. So I'm going to look in it. I'm going to use cat, but I just need something that outputs the content. And here at the very bottom of it, you see some lines here, and it says to access the server, open this file in a browser. And the best one to pick is the one that contains the host name. It will be similar to this, but not exactly the same. So let's go ahead and copy this. And now I will need a Firefox. And since for HPC2N, it has to be within HPC2N's domain, I need to open Firefox on HPC2N's domain. So in the ThinLinc. It's starting here. And I'm going to take this line, this URL with the token that I copied. And then it will start up Jupyter, as you can see. I think this is again an issue related to where it couldn't read everything. but I can choose a kernel and I will select that one and it will not start it. I don't know. I think this is related to the router upgrade because I'm not usually getting this error. It's actually running, as you can see. There's a kernel running, so it's just a weird error. We have Jupyter running, so you should be fine. Okay, I'm going to close down this here. And then I am going to go and look how it would be on Tetralit. I'm not going to talk, this is all what I just went through here. There's also ways to install a virtual environment and use your own packages. That is described on this under extra reading. On LUNARC, there will be more on the desktop on demand. I mean, I'm sure that Rebecca will show how Jupyter is opened there when she's starting to talk about matplotlib, maybe.
I had planned to do a mix of Jupyter and Spider for the next section.
Okay, so you will show them how it's opened, for instance. So
yes,
but it's very simple in the open on demand. So
yes, I mean, I'll show Jupyter, but I'll primarily use Spider for any demo scripts because it's nicer. At least I find it nicer.
Yeah, but they can use Jupyter because since Spider isn't really working on the other centers. Or I guess they can even use the terminal. So whatever they want to use.
Well, I'll show a variety.
Okay, so so that will be shown very briefly as soon as I finish this. Anyway, for NSC, you can either do it through ThinLinc, and in that case, it is a lot like it is for HPC2N. So I'm just going to go to how you do it on your own computer through SSH tunneling. And here you first need to do a regular SSH or a ThinLink to Tetralit. And I did that here. And then you would change to the working directory if you have one that you're going to use. I'm just going to start it here in this terminal here. So I'm going to load this here. And then I will start Jupyter with the no browser flag. And I'm going to make this window a little larger. So when you do this, Jupyter lab minus no browser, it started. And then I should have gotten output. I think it destroyed something when I copied. Yep, it did. Okay. This double dashes here had become single dashes on the screen. I need to fix this. It needs to be double dashes. But as you can see here, now you get the same output that you got at HPC2N, just in the file here. But this is what you will be using now in a very short moment, because now we need to open a terminal also on your own machine. And I'm going to make this larger so you can read what I'm writing. And here I'm going to type SSH -n -l and then a local host. And then you are putting in this one you got here, the port you got here, and it needs to be that one. And then local host, the same port again, and then your username. And it's going to ask me for a verification code. Let's see. Like that. And somehow I didn't do that correct. But it shifted before I finished. Okay. 3, 2. Okay. So it should be running. And then I will take this URL here and copy it. And then I will go to my browser window and open it here. And then it works. And now we are running Jupyter on Tetralit with SSH tunneling from your own machine. So that works also. And this should be a little bit faster because the Jupyter is running this way, but you can try both. Anyway, I'm going to shut this down. And yeah, I'm just going to close it in these windows here. Like this. Now I'm shutting it down. Yes. Okay. Then you can use, well, you can either use it on the ThinLinc there, or you can use it with SSH tunneling. And there is more information here, and there is also more about it on Kebnekaise here. There is more about on UPPMAX. So now the question is, who is talking about VS Code? Because I am unsure if I am doing that or if anyone else was doing that. Giant is not here today, right?
No, so I would say we skip it today, and if he thinks it is very important, he could cover it shortly.
Yeah, otherwise people can
Tomorrow.
read through it themselves.
I
because
think we should really continue with the.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking also. But I mean, I think reading through this should be enough to show you how it works because it is fairly detailed. So I think we should move on so that we're not getting too much more delayed. I'm going to stop my share and let Rebecca take over.